What if being a hero was actually a punishment? What if the people saving the world were actually forced to do so? Well, that's what Sentenced to be a Hero explores. In a never-ending battle against demons, humanity is constantly struggling to gain the upper hand. The world as they know it is slowly deteriorating with each passing second, and the demons are growing in numbers with each day. To combat these demons, humanity has employed the use of heroes to even out the playing field. These heroes are often strong and are extremely effective on the battlefield, constantly winning battles. A noble effort, one might think. But in fact, it's quite the opposite. Being a hero isn't a blessing, but rather a curse. In this world, the people saving humanity are treated worse than the monsters they're fighting. But what exactly does a hero's sentence look like? Well, it's definitely not anything like My Hero Academia, I can tell you that for sure. For starters, every hero in the show is branded by a magic seal on their neck to symbolize their status in this world. It not only serves as a constant reminder to these heroes, but also to everyone else. The moment people find out you're a hero, they'll treat you like how Naruto fans treat Sakura. You can save an entire platoon from their deaths, and at first they would be thankful, but once they see that magic seal, they'll switch up faster than me switching up on my homies after reaching a lick of fame. In addition, these seals can also track your location 24/7, only allowing you to go to where the mission permits. But let's say you're daring, you know they can find you, but if they do, you'll just fight them off, right? So you attempt your escape. That's a visual representation of the nanosecond they suspect you're deserting. They'll blow your head off faster than Steam support getting your hacked account back. Thanks, Steam, you're doing wonders. Leaving you dead, but not for long, because they can actually revive you wherever and whenever they want, only needing a replacement body and grabbing back your soul from the afterlife. And to make things even worse, if you were to die and get resurrected, you would lose parts of your memory. The more these heroes die protecting humanity, the less human they actually become. So what have we learned? Being a hero absolutely sucks, and you should like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, buddy. The reality of a hero is extremely grim and is a tough life to navigate because essentially you're no longer the navigator. And the show does a surprisingly good job of showing what that kind of life does to a person. Because every hero we meet isn't just a soldier. There's someone who has already lost something. And nowhere is that clearer than with our main character, Zyo Forbarts. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. Zyo isn't your typical shonen protagonist. He's not chasing glory, he's not trying to become the strongest, he's just trying to survive in a system that has already decided his fate. But everything changes when he meets Terita, a goddess. In this world, goddesses are ancient man-made bioengineered superweapons designed to fight the demon blight. However, they do require a blood pact with a human knight to function. There are currently 12 goddesses, all with their unique powers. Funnily enough, Terita, the goddess of swords, chose to pick Zyo as her knight. The only thing is, Zyo wants nothing to do with her. In fact, he does everything in his power to avoid and ignore her. He even went as far as to say that he hates goddesses. But why exactly does Zyo reject this essentially overpowered war machine? If it was me, I'm sliding back on the people who sentenced me, and I'm getting my You know, I forgot all about the magic seals and the My bad, my bad. Well, it actually has everything to do with the reason why Zyo was sentenced to be a hero in the first place. You see, while Zyo was in the military, he was already a knight for a different goddess, a goddess that he unfortunately had to kill due to some hard circumstances, which was a result of a betrayal. He either had to let his goddess become corrupted by demon blight, making her an enemy of humanity, or kill her now to prevent her from falling into the hands of demons. Zyo chose the latter. This led him to being framed and sentenced as a hero by the church, even after explaining his side of the story. This is a big reason why he wants to avoid Terita entirely, and I don't blame him. Imagine having no choice but to kill a goddess who not only was worshipped by you, but the rest of humanity, resulting in your never-ending sentence, only for a similar looking goddess to come in and choose you as her knight. If I was Zyo, I would have booted Terita into space. I'm not trying to relive that trauma, but to keep the plot, Zyo eventually ends up making a pact with Terita in the end. And while Zyo's story is the emotional backbone of the show, he isn't the only hero trapped in this system. One thing that I actually appreciate about Sentenced to be a Hero is that the rest of the heroes aren't treated like background soldiers. The show takes time to show us why each of them was sentenced and what kind of lives they were forced to leave behind. We get to learn a lot about characters like Dota and Soph through interrogations, the crimes they were accused of, and how court proceedings went. However, the show just doesn't rely on this, because these characters have their own distinct personalities. For example, there's Norigel Sindridge, who acts all high and mighty, constantly referring to other people as his subjects. At first you'll think he's crazy, but it actually makes sense because he was actually a king of the kingdom, but after an insurrection, he was sentenced to be a hero. I just can't stop thinking about the title. There's also Tatsuya, who we pretty much know nothing about what he was like before his sentencing, but we do know that he is the literal embodiment of what it looks to die so many times as a hero, an almost soulless being that's actually pretty OP. No, seriously, this guy's insane in battle. I looked at the wiki to see his powers, and it's literally just superhuman strength, agility, endurance, and stamina. All of it's superhuman. Bro is literally a ticking time bomb. But outside of battle, he's just chilling around with nature, mindlessly looking around, a complete contrast from him in battle. But don't be mistaken, these heroes aren't necessarily always the good guys. Hell, some of these heroes aren't even good people, and they probably deserve their sentence. I mean, this guy Sov is a serious mass murderer who kills people who he deems are easier to kill. I don't know about you guys, but I would want him to be sentenced as a hero immediately. Or Dota, who's a thief. This guy just loves to steal. He's the guy that stole Terita, by the way. So yeah, he's not exactly noble, but far from it. Although we gain a grasp on these characters and their lives as heroes, the show does a pretty good job of not only keeping us interested in them, but also not painting all of these guys as people who are actually good. And for some heroes, we still don't know why they were sentenced or the people in the church who are behind these rulings. These things, for me at least, are major reasons why I kept on watching. But I would say the biggest reason why not only I, but so many people are watching this anime is simply because of the animation. And is this a surprise to anyone? At the end of the day, animation is a major reason for success in this industry. I mean, Solo Leveling literally won Anime of the Year last year off of aura and goated animations. If you've been paying attention to the B-roll, almost every scene from dialogues to fights is well animated. And it really shouldn't come as a surprise because it's animated by the same animators who worked on Jobless Reincarnation, hence the similar art style. If only they could have spared an ounce of animation for One Punch Man Season 3. The fights are some of the best we've gotten so far this year, with almost every fight getting the attention it deserves. The fights are fast, but still easy to follow, and the camera work focuses on impact rather than just throwing effects everywhere. Not to say that there aren't effects, cause trust me, you would have thought this show was directed by Michael Bay with the amount of explosions that are in every fight. Look, we don't need to lie. The animation is a major reason for the success that it's currently receiving, and deservingly so because it's consistent throughout the show. Although the animation, characters, fight scenes, and the premise of the show are all great, one issue that I had with the show was how slow the pacing felt at times. Don't get me wrong, the episodes were greatly produced, no doubt about that, but it felt like the story got a bit stale at times, with us getting episodes on the heroes and their missions, which were great to see, but didn't really grab me as much as that first hour-long episode that we were introduced to. Now, I will say right now, things are picking up in terms of the story, with the introduction of new characters and associations, but to avoid spoilers, I won't really say anything more than that in this video. Just go watch it for yourself. At its core, Sentenced to be a Hero flips the idea of heroism right on its head, portraying heroes as scums in society who no longer have any choice in their lives. Watching characters like Xylo struggle and attempt to navigate this system is what makes the story so compelling. We still have so much to learn about this world, like who's really in charge and if it's ever possible for heroes to be relieved of their sentence. If the show continues building on its characters and world as it has so far, it could easily become one of the more memorable fantasy animes this year. But for right now, I'm really enjoying this show and I can't wait to see what the rest of the season produces for us. Oh, also, while I was writing the script, Sentenced to be a Hero was just confirmed to receive a second season, which means more is on the way. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. Please stay safe, God bless, and I'll see you guys next time.